An old homeless-looking man walked into court and claimed to be a father who had been declared dead for 27 years. Everyone laughed at him, including his own son. But seconds later, the judge turned pale after seeing a scar on his neck and whispered, "That scar, it's really him." What secret from the past could make an entire courtroom fall silent? Watch until the end, because this shocking story of betrayal, family, and hidden truth will completely change everything. I never imagined that the first time my son saw me again after 27 years, he would laugh. My name is David Norvik, and according to official records, I died in a ferry explosion nearly 3 decades ago. Yet there I was, standing in front of the old courthouse in Seattle on a gray autumn morning, my hands trembling inside the pockets of my worn coat. The building looked different from what I remembered. The city itself had changed. Taller buildings surrounded the area, the roads were busier, and the people moved with the hurried expressions of strangers who had their own problems. For several minutes, I simply stood there. I looked up at the stone stairs leading to the entrance. This was the place where my family's future would be decided. And perhaps mine as well. A cold wind passed through the street. I touched the scar on the left side of my neck instinctively. That scar had become the only thing I recognized during the years when I could not even remember my own name. 27 years earlier, I had boarded the passenger ferry Aurora Crest. I was 35 at the time. I had a wife, a young son named Leon, and dreams of expanding my engineering business. Then everything disappeared in one terrible night. The explosion, the screams, the fire, the freezing water. After that, there was only darkness. When I finally regained consciousness, I was thousands of miles away in a small fishing village in Indonesia. The fisherman who rescued me said I had drifted for days. I had severe injuries and complete memory loss. I could not remember my family. I could not remember my country. I could not even remember my own name. For years, I lived as another man. I repaired boat engines, carried supplies, and survived one day at a time. Sometimes I dreamed about a little boy running along a beach. Sometimes I heard a woman calling my name. But every time I tried to remember their faces, the images vanished. Then, 2 years ago, everything changed. I suffered a minor stroke while repairing a fishing vessel. When I woke up in the clinic, memories began returning little by little. At first, they came as fragments. A wedding ring. A blue house. A child's laughter. Then came the name. David. David Norvik. I cried for hours that night. Because I finally remembered who I was. And because I realized that 25 years had already been stolen from me. As soon as I recovered, I began searching. The internet became my window into a world that had moved on without me. I discovered that my wife had passed away 6 years earlier from illness. I discovered that my son was now a successful businessman. And I discovered something even stranger. My family's estate had become the center of a legal dispute. The name appearing repeatedly in news articles was one I had never forgotten after my memories returned. Cashin Vare. The moment I saw his face on the screen, something inside me turned cold. I remembered him. Not clearly. Only fragments. A man standing near restricted areas of the ferry. A brief argument. A strange feeling that something was terribly wrong. Then came another memory. The explosion. And just before it happened, I had seen Cashin. At first I thought it was impossible. Perhaps my memories were distorted. But the more I researched him, the more uncomfortable I became. Cashin Vare had become incredibly wealthy shortly after the ferry disaster. His business empire seemed to rise almost overnight. Maybe it was a coincidence. Or maybe it wasn't. That was why I returned. Not for money. Not for revenge. I came because I wanted answers. I wanted to know why my life had been erased. I wanted to know why my son had grown up believing I was gone. Most of all, I wanted to see him one last time. I slowly climbed the courthouse stairs. Every step felt heavier than the last. At the entrance, I saw reporters gathered near the doors. Several cameras were pointed toward a luxury black vehicle that had just arrived. The rear door opened. A man stepped out. Tall, well-dressed, confident. My heart nearly stopped. Leon, my son. He was no longer the little boy from my memories. He looked older than I imagined, with dark hair and serious eyes. For several seconds, I could only stare. I wanted to call his name immediately. I wanted to embrace him. I wanted to tell him that I had never abandoned him. But before I could move, another person exited the vehicle. A beautiful woman in an expensive gray coat. His wife, I assumed. Then another car arrived. The man who stepped out of it made my blood run cold. Cashin Vare. Older. Richer. But unmistakably the same man. He smiled while placing a hand on Leon's shoulder. They appeared close. Very close. My stomach tightened. What was he doing with my son? I took a deep breath. This was the moment. I stepped forward. Leon. My voice came out weaker than I expected. He turned toward me. For one brief second, our eyes met. I saw confusion on his face. Then annoyance. I swallowed hard. Son. Silence. The people nearby began watching. I forced myself to smile despite the tears gathering in my eyes. My name is David Norvik. Leon stared at me. Then, suddenly, he laughed. Leon laughed. Not a nervous laugh. Not the laugh of someone shocked by seeing a ghost from the past. It was the kind of laugh reserved for someone considered ridiculous. Several reporters nearby exchanged curious looks. Even the woman beside him raised an eyebrow. I stood frozen. For years, I had imagined this reunion countless times. I had imagined anger. I had imagined tears. I had even imagined him refusing to forgive me. But I had never imagined laughter. Leon shook his head slowly. You people really have no shame. The words struck me harder than I expected. I'm sorry, I asked quietly. He folded his arms. Every few years, someone appears claiming to be my father. The woman beside him sighed. Usually they're after money. A few reporters began whispering among themselves. One of them raised a camera. I suddenly became aware of how I looked. My coat was old. My shoes were worn. I looked nothing like the successful engineer I had once been. To them, I probably appeared to be exactly what Leon believed. An old fraud. I am not lying, I said. My name is David Norvik. Leon smiled coldly. My father died 27 years ago. He didn't. He did. His answer came instantly. The certainty in his voice frightened me. Someone had convinced him completely. I looked at him carefully. The boy I remembered had disappeared. This man standing before me carried years of resentment, years of pain, years of beliefs that had become absolute truths. I never abandoned you, I said. His expression changed. For the first time, I saw genuine emotion. Anger. Don't. His voice became sharper. Do not stand there and pretend to know anything about me. I remained silent. Leon took a step closer. My mother spent years waiting for him. His eyes were beginning to redden. She checked every possible report. Another step. She searched hospitals. Another. She hired investigators. I could hear his breathing becoming heavier. And then she found documents. I frowned. What documents? He laughed again. The documents proving my father transferred his assets before disappearing. My heart skipped. Transferred? What are you talking about? He left. No. He abandoned us. No. My voice came out louder than intended. People turned toward us. For a moment, complete silence surrounded the courthouse entrance. Leon stared at me. I could see hatred in his eyes. "You know what I think," he said quietly. I swallowed. "I think my father wanted another life." The words pierced through me. "I think he planned everything." I shook my head immediately. "That's impossible." My mother cried herself to sleep for years. Every word sounded heavier. She died believing he chose money over us. I felt my legs becoming weak. "No. And now you appear here pretending to be him." I opened my mouth but could not speak, because I realized something terrible. Someone had carefully created this story. Someone had built an entirely false life around my disappearance. Then I noticed movement. Cassian Vare stepped forward. He wore a perfectly tailored dark suit. His expression appeared calm. Too calm. He looked at me for several seconds. Then he smiled politely. "Sir, perhaps this is all a misunderstanding." The moment I heard his voice, another fragment of memory surfaced. Smoke. Flashing emergency lights. A corridor inside the ferry. And Cassian arguing with several men. I suddenly felt dizzy. Cassian's smile widened slightly. "You don't look well." I stared at him. "You." He tilted his head. "Have we met before?" I could not answer immediately, because more memories were returning. I remembered seeing him near a restricted maintenance section. I remembered following him. I remembered hearing the words, "It has to happen tonight." A sharp pain spread through my head. I pressed my fingers against my temple. "Sir?" Leon asked impatiently. I ignored him. My eyes remained fixed on Cassian. He continued smiling. But something had changed. His eyes. For the briefest moment, I saw fear. Very small. Almost invisible. Yet it was there. Why would he be afraid? Unless he recognized me. My breathing became uneven. "You know who I am." Cassian blinked. "I beg your pardon. You know me." His expression remained calm, but his fingers tightened slightly. A tiny detail. One most people would never notice. "I think you are mistaken." "No." I took another step. "I saw you." The reporters suddenly became more interested. Cameras turned toward us. Leon looked irritated. This has gone far enough. But I could barely hear him. Memories were returning faster. The ferry. The explosion. The screams. A young boy trapped beneath debris. And before all of that, Cassian, standing exactly where he should not have been. "You were there." Cassian's face remained composed. "I have no idea what you're talking about." "You were on the Aurora crest." The smile on his face disappeared. Only for a second. But I saw it. And I knew he realized I had seen it. The reporters immediately reacted. "The Aurora crest. Isn't that the ferry disaster? Who is this man?" Leon looked confused. He turned toward Cassian. Cassian quickly recovered. "I think this poor man may be suffering from memory issues." The statement sounded sympathetic. But I heard the hidden warning. He wanted everyone to dismiss me. To make me appear unstable. To make me sound insane. And suddenly, I understood something. This man did not simply know my name. He had expected me never to return. A cold sensation spread through my entire body. Because if I was right, then my survival itself was a problem. For him. Cassian looked directly into my eyes. And for the first time, I noticed something beneath his calm expression. Tension. Fear. Calculation. He was thinking. Planning. Adjusting. As if my appearance had ruined something important. Then he placed a reassuring hand on Leon's shoulder. "You should go inside. The hearing will begin shortly." Leon nodded. Before following him, he looked at me one final time. There was no warmth in his eyes. Only disappointment. Someone had wanted me dead. That realization followed me as I entered the courthouse several minutes later. The large hallway smelled faintly of old paper and polished wood. Lawyers walked back and forth carrying thick files, while court officers maintained order with practiced expressions. Everything felt unfamiliar. 27 years had passed. I felt like a stranger in my own country. I remained near the back of the hallway, watching Leon speak quietly with his wife and Cashin Vare. The three of them looked like a family. The sight twisted something inside my chest. At one time, I should have been standing beside my son. I should have seen him grow up. I should have attended his graduation. I should have been there when he married. Instead, I had lost almost 3 decades. And somehow, Cashin had taken my place. A court officer suddenly approached me. "Sir, are you involved in today's hearing?" I believe so." He looked confused. "Your name?" I hesitated. It felt strange saying it aloud. "David Norvik." The officer frowned immediately. He checked the document in his hand. Then he looked at me again. "David Norvik is deceased." "I know." The officer stared at me. "I mean, according to official records." I slowly nodded. "That is the problem." Before he could ask more questions, another officer called him away. I exhaled heavily. Nothing would be easy. Every document in existence declared me dead. I had no legal identity, no property, no family, no proof. I was a ghost. A few moments later, the courtroom doors opened. People slowly entered. I followed behind them. The courtroom itself was larger than I expected. Sunlight entered through tall windows, illuminating rows of seats and dark wooden walls. At the front stood the judge's bench. Leon and his legal team sat on one side. Representatives from the opposing side occupied the other. Cashin sat beside my son, calm as ever. He briefly looked toward me. Again, I saw that same tension in his eyes. He was hiding something. I was certain of it. A court clerk suddenly noticed me. "Sir, you cannot stand there. I need to speak." "Are you a witness?" "No." "Family member?" I looked toward Leon. "Yes." The clerk looked puzzled. Before he could respond, the courtroom doors opened once again. Everyone stood. The judge entered. He appeared to be a man in his early 40s, with sharp features and calm eyes. "Please be seated." Everyone obeyed. The hearing began. I listened in silence. The dispute involved several old properties that had originally belonged to my family before my disappearance. Complicated legal matters were discussed. Documents were presented. Signatures appeared on large screens. And then I saw it. My signature. I immediately stood. "That is false." The entire courtroom turned toward me. The judge looked surprised. "Sir." I slowly approached. "That signature is forged." Whispers spread throughout the room. Leon looked annoyed. Cashin remained expressionless. The judge adjusted his glasses. "And you are?" I swallowed. "My name is David Norvik." Silence. Complete silence. Several people looked genuinely confused. Others looked amused. One lawyer actually laughed. The judge stared at me for several seconds. "Mr. Norvik passed away 27 years ago." "No." I pointed toward the documents. "I never signed those papers." Leon suddenly stood. "Your Honor, this man has been harassing my family since this morning." "Leon." I whispered. His expression hardened. "Please stop using my name." Every word felt like a knife. The judge raised his hand. "Order." I tried to remain calm. "I know how this sounds, but I am telling the truth." One of the opposing lawyers smirked. "Do you have evidence?" I remained silent. Because I had almost none. The lawyer spread his hands. Any identification? No. Birth certificate? No. Passport? I lowered my head. No. A few people began shaking their heads. The lawyer smiled confidently. Then perhaps you should explain how a dead man is standing in this courtroom. I looked around. No one believed me. Not even my own son. Then I slowly removed my scarf. The old scar on my neck became visible. I survived. The lawyer sighed dramatically. That proves nothing. My hands trembled. I could feel everything slipping away. Years of searching. Years of hoping. Was this really how it would end? With people laughing at me? Suddenly Leon spoke. You should leave. I looked at him. His expression was cold. There is nothing here for you. I came for you. No. His voice became sharper. You came because you heard about the estate. I shook my head desperately. Leon, listen to me. My father is dead. No. He died years ago. I'm standing right here. The courtroom became silent again. For a brief moment, our eyes met. I saw pain in his face. Deep pain. Pain that had never healed. Then he laughed softly. It was not cruel this time. It sounded broken. My mother waited for him until the day she died. I felt tears forming. She believed he would come home. I could not breathe. And now you appear. His eyes reddened. Where were you all these years? I opened my mouth. No words came out. How could I explain decades of memory loss in a few sentences? How could I explain losing myself? I didn't remember. Leon looked away. Enough. The judge leaned forward. Sir, if you truly are David Norvik, can you provide anything that verifies your identity? I thought desperately. Anything. Anything at all. Then suddenly, the judge froze. His eyes were fixed on my neck. Specifically, on the scar. His expression changed completely. The color drained from his face. His hand slowly began trembling. At first, nobody noticed. Then everyone did. The courtroom fell silent. The judge slowly stood from his chair. His breathing became uneven. He stared at me as if he had seen a ghost. My God! No one moved. No one spoke. The judge descended from the bench. Step by step. His eyes never left me. I frowned in confusion. Your Honor. His lips trembled. That scar. The room became deathly quiet. He stopped only a few feet away. For several long seconds, he simply stared at me. Then he whispered words that made everyone hold their breath. It's really you. I blinked. What? The judge's eyes had become red. For the first time since I entered the courtroom, Cashin Vare looked afraid. Not nervous. Afraid. His face had lost all color, and his hand slowly tightened around the edge of the table. The entire courtroom remained silent. Judge Alaric Thorne continued staring at me, his eyes filled with disbelief. It really is you. He whispered again. I could barely breathe. Fragments of memories kept appearing in my mind. The lower deck. The explosion. The young boy trapped beneath twisted steel. I remembered carrying him. I remembered pushing him toward a lifeboat. Then, darkness. Judge Thorne suddenly took another step toward me. I never forgot your face. I looked at him carefully. You were the boy. He nodded immediately. I was 16. His voice shook slightly. My father and I boarded the Aurora Crest that night. Another memory surfaced. A man in a navy coat. A teenager shouting. Fire spreading through the corridors. I thought both of you survived. The judge lowered his eyes. My father didn't. Silence filled the room. He died several hours later. I felt a heaviness in my chest. I'm sorry. Judge Thorne slowly shook his head. No. He looked directly at me. You saved my life. The courtroom remained completely still. Even the reporters had stopped writing. Everyone was watching us. Then the judge turned toward the court clerk. Bring me the old archive file. Several people looked confused. One of the lawyers stood up. Your Honor, what does this have to do with the current case? The judge's expression hardened. Everything. The lawyer immediately sat down. A few minutes later, the clerk returned carrying an old box covered with dust. I frowned. Judge Thorne slowly opened it. Inside were old photographs and documents. My father spent months investigating the Aurora Crest disaster before he died. I stared at him. Investigating. He nodded. He believed the explosion wasn't an accident. A murmur spread across the courtroom. I immediately looked toward Cashin. His expression remained calm, but beads of sweat had appeared near his temple. The judge removed several photographs. I was never supposed to reveal these files. He looked at me again. But seeing you alive changes everything. One by one, he placed the photographs on the table. I moved closer. The first photograph showed damaged sections of the ferry. The second showed emergency responders. Then I saw the third picture. My entire body went cold. Several men stood near a restricted maintenance area. One of them was unmistakable. Cashin Vare. Younger. But definitely him. The courtroom exploded with whispers. Leon looked shocked. His wife covered her mouth. Cashin remained silent. I slowly raised my eyes toward him. You were there. He said nothing. Judge Thorne spoke calmly. My father found evidence that unauthorized individuals accessed the lower mechanical deck before the explosion. Another photograph appeared. A security report. Then another. Maintenance logs. Missing cargo records. My heart pounded. This. I whispered. Judge Thorne nodded. The official investigation was closed too quickly. The room became increasingly tense. My father believed insurance fraud was involved. One of the lawyers suddenly stood. This is absurd. But Judge Thorne ignored him. Instead, he looked directly at Cashin. Would you care to explain why your name appears repeatedly in these records, Mr. Vare? For the first time, Cashin slowly stood. His expression remained composed. Your Honor, these accusations are outrageous. His voice was calm, controlled. I was merely a junior shipping consultant at the time. Then why were you inside a restricted area? Cashin smiled slightly. I have no idea whether those photographs are authentic. The judge narrowed his eyes. Are you suggesting they were fabricated? I am suggesting that old documents should be treated carefully. I suddenly remembered something. Another fragment. Another memory. Someone arguing. A man saying, "He saw us." My breathing became uneven. Then another voice. Cashin's voice. Then he dies with the others. I froze. The words echoed inside my mind. I staggered backward. Judge Thorne looked concerned. Mr. Norvik. I slowly raised my head. I looked directly at Cashin. You tried to kill me. The courtroom became silent again. Cashin's face did not change, but his eyes did. For a brief second, they became cold, completely cold. Then the expression disappeared. You are confused. No. I pointed at him. I remember. Leon looked at me. What are you talking about? I swallowed hard. I heard him. My voice trembled. I heard him before the explosion. Cashin laughed softly. A convenient memory. But I was no longer uncertain. More pieces were returning. I remembered following suspicious noises. I remembered hidden containers. I remembered seeing explosives. And I remembered someone noticing me. The explosion happened only minutes later. I slowly looked around the courtroom. They wanted everyone dead. The room erupted into whispers. Leon looked pale. His eyes shifted between me and Cashin. "That's impossible." Cashin finally spoke again. "Leon." My son looked at him. "You know me." His voice sounded reassuring. "Do you honestly believe such nonsense?" Leon remained silent. Cashin continued. "I have helped your family for years." I frowned. "Helped?" Leon looked down. Judge Thorne noticed immediately. "What does he mean?" Leon hesitated. Then he answered quietly. "After my mother's business collapsed." He swallowed. "Mr. Vare supported us." I stared at him. "What?" "He paid for my education." The room became silent. "He helped with medical expenses." I could hardly process what I was hearing. Cashin had been close to my family all these years. Why? Then realization struck me. Control. He had remained close enough to monitor everything. Close enough to ensure no questions were asked. Close enough to shape Leon's understanding of the past. I slowly turned toward Cashin. "You stayed near my family." He smiled faintly. "Out of kindness." "No." I shook my head. "You wanted to make sure I never returned." Cashin Vare was trying to run. The moment he turned toward the courtroom exit, everyone realized something was terribly wrong. "Stop him!" Judge Thorne shouted. 2 court officers immediately moved. But Cashin was surprisingly fast. He pushed one of them aside and hurried toward the door. The entire courtroom erupted into chaos. People stood from their seats. Reporters grabbed their cameras. Leon stared in disbelief. "Mr. Vare." Cashin ignored him. One of the officers managed to block the doorway. Realizing he had no escape, Cashin slowly stopped. For several seconds, nobody moved. His back remained facing us. Then, very slowly, he turned around. His calm expression had vanished. The man standing before us looked completely different. Cold. Cornered. Dangerous. Judge Thorne's voice became firm. "Return to your seat." Cashin looked around the room. Then, unexpectedly, he smiled. A strange smile. "You people are making a terrible mistake." I felt a chill run through my body. "You know exactly what happened," I said. His eyes shifted toward me. "And you should have stayed dead." The words silenced everyone. Leon looked horrified. "What did you just say?" Cashin did not answer. Instead, he kept staring at me. 27 years. For 27 years this man had believed I was gone forever. And now I was standing in front of him. Alive. The judge slowly stepped forward. "Mr. Vare, I advise you to choose your next words carefully." Cashin laughed softly. "You think old photographs prove anything?" "No," Judge Thorne replied calmly. "But your behavior certainly does." Cashin's expression hardened. The courtroom doors suddenly opened again. A gray-haired man entered, breathing heavily as if he had rushed there. The moment I saw him, my legs nearly gave out. "No." The man looked at me. His face immediately turned pale. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Then he whispered, "David." The room became silent. I could barely breathe. "Marius." The man standing before me was my younger brother, Marius Norvik. The brother I believed had died years ago. The brother I had mourned. The brother who had disappeared shortly after the ferry tragedy. He looked much older. His hair had turned gray. His shoulders were bent. But it was him. Leon looked utterly confused. "Uncle Marius." I turned toward him. You know him. Leon nodded slowly. He left years ago. Nothing made sense anymore. Marius lowered his head. His entire body trembled. Cassian suddenly looked alarmed. Real alarm. Marius, he said sharply. The older man flinched. Judge Thorne immediately noticed. Who are you? Marius swallowed hard. My name is Marius Norvik. Whispers spread throughout the courtroom. Another member of my family. Another person connected to all of this. I slowly approached him. You are alive. He could not meet my eyes. I thought you were dead. Still, he said nothing. Marius. My voice cracked. Look at me. Slowly, he raised his head. Tears had formed in his eyes. And then I understood. Guilt. Terrible guilt. My stomach tightened. What did you do? The room became completely silent. Marius began shaking. Cassian immediately stepped forward. You don't need to answer anything. But Marius suddenly shouted. Enough. Everyone froze. For the first time, fear appeared on Cassian's face. Marius looked at him with hatred. I've been silent for too long. Cassian's voice became dangerous. Think carefully. No. Marius looked at me. Tears rolled down his face. I thought you were dead. I could barely speak. What are you talking about? He covered his face with trembling hands. I never wanted this. My heart pounded. Marius. His voice broke. I owed money. Silence. A lot of money. I stared at him. I had gambling debts. Another wave of whispers spread. Cassian closed his eyes briefly, as if he already knew what was coming. Marius pointed toward him. He approached me. Leon looked stunned. He offered money. I felt my chest tighten. In exchange for information. What information? Judge Thorne asked. Marius began crying. About David. The entire courtroom fell silent. He wanted ferry schedules. He wanted details about my brother's business. He wanted access to certain documents. I felt as though the ground had disappeared beneath my feet. No. Marius nodded weakly. I didn't know they planned an explosion. Cassian immediately shouted. He's lying. But nobody looked at him. Everyone was staring at my brother. Marius collapsed into a chair. I thought it was insurance fraud. His voice shook violently. I thought they wanted financial information. I could barely breathe. I never imagined people would die. Leon looked completely devastated. Judge Thorne remained silent. Then Marius whispered the words that shattered everything. After the explosion, Cassian told me you were dead. I stared at him. He paid me to remain silent. My hands trembled. He created documents. What documents? Leon asked quietly. Marius looked toward him. The documents saying your father abandoned the family. Leon went pale. No. I helped forge them. The room became utterly silent. I felt tears filling my eyes. For 27 years, my own son had hated me because of lies, because of forged papers, because of greed. Leon slowly stepped backward. His breathing became uneven. He looked at Cassian. You told me my father left us. Cassian said nothing. You told my mother the same thing. Still silence. You said you tried to help us. Cassian's expression darkened. Leon looked as though his entire world had collapsed. Every memory, every belief, every piece of his life, all built upon deception. He turned toward me. For the first time since seeing me, there was no anger in his eyes, only shock and pain. Then the courtroom doors opened once more. Several federal agents entered. One of them approached Judge Thorne. "Your Honor." He handed over a document. Judge Thorne read it. His expression became serious. The agent then looked directly at Cashin. "Cashin Vare." The room became silent. "Dad." The word echoed inside my mind. For several seconds, I could not move. I simply stared at Leon, my son, the little boy I had searched for across half the world, the child whose face had appeared in my dreams for years. He stood only a few feet away, yet it felt as though an entire lifetime separated us. His eyes were red. His hands trembled. And then, slowly, he lowered his head. "I'm sorry." The courtroom remained silent. Federal agents had already placed handcuffs on Cashin Vare, but nobody was paying attention to him anymore. Everyone was watching us. Leon swallowed hard. "I laughed at you." His voice broke. "I called you a liar." I felt my own tears beginning to fall. I thought. He could no longer continue. 4 years, he had believed I abandoned him. 4 years, he had hated me. And now, in a matter of minutes, everything he knew had been destroyed. I slowly approached him. Leon looked up. The pain in his eyes nearly broke me. "My mother waited for you." I nodded weakly. "I know. She defended you at first." His breathing became uneven. "But after those documents appeared." He closed his eyes. "She thought you had chosen another life." A deep ache spread through my chest. I thought about my wife. I thought about all the nights she must have spent crying. All the birthdays I missed. All the years she suffered alone. I would never have the chance to explain. Never have the chance to tell her I never abandoned our family. That realization hurt more than anything. "I'm sorry," Leon whispered again. I slowly shook my head. "No." He looked confused. "You were a child." Fresh tears rolled down his face. "You believed what everyone told you. But I hated you." I placed a trembling hand on his shoulder. "And I never stopped loving you." Leon completely broke down. He covered his face and began crying openly. The courtroom remained silent. Even several reporters looked emotional. For 27 years, I had imagined this moment. Yet nothing could have prepared me for it. Slowly, Leon stepped forward. Then he hugged me. I froze. For a brief moment, I felt as though time had stopped. Then I embraced him. Tightly. As tightly as I could. I had lost almost 3 decades. But at least this moment still existed. At least my son was here. At least we still had today. Behind us, I heard quiet sobbing. "Marius." I slowly looked toward my younger brother. He remained seated, his face filled with regret. "I destroyed everything." His voice was barely audible. "I ruined our family." I looked at him for a long time. Part of me wanted to hate him. Part of me wanted to scream. Because his choices had stolen years from us. But as I looked at him, I saw a broken old man. A man who had already been punished by his own guilt. "You should have told the truth." He nodded while crying. "I was afraid. You let us suffer." "I know." Silence filled the room. Finally, I closed my eyes. "I cannot forgive what happened." Marius lowered his head. "But I don't want to spend the rest of my life carrying hatred." He began crying even harder. "I am sorry, David." I said nothing. Because some wounds never fully disappear. A few moments later, federal agents escorted Cashin toward the exit. Before leaving, he stopped. He slowly turned toward me. Everything was gone now. His power. His reputation. His empire. The carefully constructed image he had built over 27 years had collapsed in a single day. "You think you've won?" His voice sounded cold. I looked at him calmly. "No." His eyes narrowed. "Then why are you smiling?" I realized I actually was. Not because he had lost, but because I had finally found the truth. Because my son knew I had never abandoned him. Because I was no longer a ghost. You spent 27 years trying to erase me. Cashin remained silent. And yet here I am. His expression darkened. I continued. You built your fortune on the dead. I looked directly into his eyes. And in the end, a dead man destroyed everything you built. For the first time, anger completely overtook him. But there was nothing he could do. The agents led him away. And he disappeared through the courtroom doors. Forever. Several months later, winter arrived. Snow covered the streets of Seattle. The investigations continued. The truth about the Aurora Crest disaster became national news. Dozens of hidden financial crimes were uncovered. Numerous illegal insurance operations connected to Cashin's companies were exposed. His assets were seized. His businesses collapsed. Many of his former associates turned against him. The man who once controlled everything lost it all. As for Marius, he accepted responsibility for his actions. He cooperated with investigators and received a prison sentence. Before leaving, he wrote me a long letter. A letter filled with regret. I still have not answered it. Perhaps one day I will. Perhaps not. Some wounds require time. As for me, I moved into a small house near the harbor. I liked hearing the ocean. It reminded me that despite everything, I had survived. One evening, someone knocked on my door. I already knew who it was. When I opened it, Leon stood there holding 2 bags of groceries. He looked awkward. Almost like a little boy again. I wasn't sure what you liked. I smiled faintly. I haven't eaten American food in years. He laughed softly. It was the first genuine laugh I had heard from him. He entered the house. For several minutes, we simply talked. About small things. About his childhood. About his mother. About the years we had lost. At one point, he became quiet. I wish she could have seen this. I looked down. So do I. Silence filled the room. Then Leon looked at me. What happens now? I thought for a moment. 27 years had been stolen from us. Nobody could return them. No court. No amount of money. No punishment. Nothing. But perhaps life was not about recovering the past. Perhaps it was about protecting what remained. I looked at my son and smiled. Now. He nodded. I slowly stood and walked toward the kitchen. Now we start again. He stared at me. I opened the refrigerator and frowned. I have absolutely no idea how to cook. For the first time in many years, Leon laughed loudly. A real laugh.